What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Evan. In today's video, I'm going to break down the two trades that I took today. Both were absolutely garbage. The first one was a negative 17% loss. Just going to be completely transparent with you guys. It was a little bit on tilt today. It worked out in my favor somewhat. I didn't lose everything overall in the day. It was a break-even day, so let's go for that. But we're going to look at my screen right now. We're going to break down the exact trade. So as you guys can see, I had two levels marked out for today. One was from the previous day, which was 408, and then 409.2, which was basically this pre-market high right here. I had this marked out. If you guys don't know, the red arrows are my entries, the purple arrows are my exits. And if you guys don't know as well, I only took puts today, if that tells you anything. So we can see here we had this resistance 409.2. We ended up breaking above that as soon as the market opened, and we started wicking here. So as soon as I saw those wicks, I was like, this is definitely a no-go. We're not going to continue pushing up through this, especially after 3 candles of just wicks on the top. We ended up pulling back. As soon as we pull back, for some reason, I think that it's a good time to enter a put because I think that we can pull back to the moving average. That was my original thesis, was I think that we could pull back to the moving average, or at least pull back a little bit more. So we ended up having this nice candle down. Once we had this candle, it looked like an H pattern. So that's why I entered here. Once we started to push back down, we didn't get that H pattern, unfortunately, and we ended up chopping sideways for a little bit. I was a little bit in profit here, not very much at all. Chopping sideways though, and then pushing back up. And now this was my exit. It was a pretty late exit. And the reason I say that is because my stop loss was going to be a break back above 409.2. We broke back above 409.2, but then we had this candle right here right away. And I was trying to give it some room to breathe. I was trying to let it do what it was going to do without just wiping out my position very quickly, because it could have popped up here and then just spiked right back down, and I didn't want that to happen. So I stayed in a little bit longer, and unfortunately that resulted in a larger loss. But overall, that was my first trade. I went down here. It came right at these lows. I thought we were going to get an H pattern with a continuation. Anticipated that basically this break. We didn't get that break, right? But my target was going to be the moving average, which is the orange line down here. So we didn't get that break. We ended up coming up here, and I stopped out a little bit late. So that was the first trade. Not the best trade. It's pretty simple in terms of like what I can do to fix it. And basically, when I looked at my momentum charts, I could see that momentum was pushing towards the upside. So this was just basically not a good entry whatsoever for puts, because it would have had to break this previous low in order to get some more downside, because we could have had a break here and a push down a little bit further, right, before entering puts, and then that would have had the same target there, but then we would have had some more confirmation that it actually broke the lows without wicks all in the bottom like this. So that's what I would do a little bit different about that trade. Also, I would not let my stop loss run as long as it did. I would have just gotten out right there, but I let it run a little bit late today. So the other trade, this one is garbage, bro. I don't even lie. This one's trash. And you can see, so I enter here, right? We're coming back down, and what is this? This is off of news. Yeah, this is 10:01. So this is 1 minute after the University of Michigan consumer sentiment and new home sales just came out. So we're pushing down, right? And I enter at this candle. At that current moment, we had volume, and I thought we were going to push down. I was basically just trying to scalp down to these previous lows right here. I was trying to scalp down to here, but we never got that. And as you can see, we ended up pushing right back up. Now, I had light size on this because I already took one losing trade. So I had light size on this. I wasn't super worried about it pulling back up because I didn't have a lot invested in it. But nonetheless, we pulled back up, right? Try to push back down again, and then chop sideways this entire time. This sucked. I was in this trade for an hour, and the whole time I was anxious. The whole time it just sucked. I was waiting for this. I was like, come on, break the lows, because we weren't making progress on either side. We're not making progress above these highs, right? And we weren't making progress below these lows, except for here slightly. But even then, no solidified progress. So I'm sitting here through all this chop, and I want to just get out, right? But I still have conviction that the market is going to go down, because we're not making progress to the upside, right? But we're making slight progress to the downside, which is kind of this. So we make that little bit of progress, we push back up, make a little bit of progress. Not really, but we pull back down and we push back up again. And then finally, we get that break of that previous low, and we ended up smashing through this. I was going to sell at the moving average, but my contracts literally were at break even because I was holding for so long. At that point, I was like, no, I've been holding for this long. If we're going to be in the profit, I want some profit. So, or if we were going to break this moving average, I could see a little bit of move. We moved down. Boom, I got out. I said, I'm out of here. I'm gone. And that's how I became break even on the day. So lighter position overall, but nonetheless, that trade was just not it. That trade was not it. I was holding it for way too long, way too anxious during it with all this chop. I could have just sat out and had a much better day. But hopefully you guys learned something from this video. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below. Like this video for more videos like this one. And I'll see you guys in the next video.